What caused everyone to panic and sell off their XRP today? You see, it wasn't just XRP that was destroyed. In essence, the entire cryptocurrency market was put through a blender. And what better way to illustrate why leverage trading is so crazy than this, man? Today, people were totally decimated. I was completely unprepared. No one anticipated this. Here's the worst part though. This actually occurred for a valid purpose. The market being the market is usually the only reason why cryptocurrency goes haywire. However, something genuine actually triggered this whole situation today. I know what you're thinking. Does this undermine the XRP narrative? Are we continuing to reach new heights? Did today simply put a halt to the crazy moonshot rally that was expected to happen? We might certainly fall more before things improve, according to a number of analysts. Yes, that is a portion of the plot. Whether this will drive everything back or not is something I don't see. Get this too. Despite the fact that the stock market and cryptocurrency both suffered today, this isn't really being handled like a major catastrophe by the market. Crypto has undoubtedly been hammered more severely than stocks, but here's the crazy part. In fact, the S&P 500 closed today. Do you think that's possible? After all, I'll get into the news that caused this disaster in a moment. Consequently, equities completely ignored it, but cryptocurrency didn't recover as much. The entire situation isn't driving them insane. However, I must be quite clear before we delve any farther. I have absolutely no experience in finance. You shouldn't purchase or sell anything based on what I'm saying, and I'm not offering you financial advice. Don't do that really. XRP is sitting around $3.08 while I'm filming this video, and man, take a look at this carnage. XRP had a big faceplant this morning. Bitcoin also performed the same thing. In fact, they seem to be closely related. It's the same catastrophe graphic every time I navigate between these tabs in my browser. Today, they could as well be the same coin. Needless to say, XRP was not singled out here. The worst part is still to come. After today's chaos, the S&P 500 did manage to remain positive, albeit not by much. That's quite amazing. Hit $6,468 with a meager 0.03% gain. Completely insane. What then set off this entire meltdown? The smoking gun is right here. We were hit by this gem from Reuters. As the cost of products and services rises, producer inflation in the US heats up. Interpretation. In July, American producer prices experienced their largest increase in 3 years. The fact that everything is becoming more expensive is essentially a huge red flag that inflation may be about to explode. The federal officials are now sitting there thinking, well, this is awkward. Shortly after the data was released, the Labor Department released a more robust than anticipated producer inflation report on Thursday. Last month, consumers were hit hard by increased costs for things like flights and dental care. Furthermore, there are no indications that the job market is deteriorating in early August. Naturally, this tale was then covered by everyone and their mother. In essence, that is the news that is influencing markets today. Cointelegraph also jumped on it, highlighting the main topics of market obsession. As they point out in these two crucial areas, Bitcoin fell precipitously following the release of this inflation report. The major one is right here. The likelihood of a rate cut by the Fed next month has decreased from 99.8% to 90.5%. Therefore, it was essentially assured this morning that a rate cut would occur the next month. 9 to 9.8%, that's about as certain as it gets. There is now some growing skepticism, which is frightening people. Look, it doesn't matter if you believe rate cuts are fantastic or awful. The market is now less certain that the cut will actually occur, even though they still want it. This kind of huge swing occurs in bull markets anyhow, which explains all the crypto madness we're witnessing. Indeed, there was a genuine trigger this time around. Some news that alarmed people, and liquidations simply took off from there. To be honest though, this is just normal cryptocurrency. What, after all, did we lose in market capitalization? $200 billion or so since last night, when Bitcoin was at all-time highs. Additionally, keep in mind that yesterday night was the first occasion that Bitcoin actually broke beyond $124,000. That occurred just now, descending to a 24-hour low of $117,682 from that peak. To be honest, that volatility is rather typical for cryptocurrencies. However, I must admit that it's quite astounding to witness more than that amount being erased in a single day, having been around when the entire cryptocurrency market was valued at about $150 billion. When I first started investing in cryptocurrency in 2017, it was worth more than the entire market. It's just insane to consider. And then there's this decrypt story. According to Treasury Secretary Yellen, the US will not be buying any Bitcoin. According to others, this contributed to the market's collapse. On that, I'm calling BS. It is completely nonsensical. That inflation announcement coincided precisely with the simultaneous decline of the whole market, including stocks and cryptocurrency. I doubt that this Bitcoin news had any significant influence on today's carnage, but it might not help. Credible Crypto, a chart analyst, shared this quite intriguing post last night. The rise up is really choppy, so this is probably still part of some flat running or expanding pattern, which means we could still drop back even though we hit new highs, he added, referring to new Bitcoin all-time highs. In essence, he was arguing that things could go the other way, and boom. That's precisely what took place. Yes, it was sparked by a news story, but that's still how it happened. He believed it was the most plausible conclusion drawn from the charts. Then he released this update this morning, and we withdrew. I simply do my best to abide by the rules. I don't create them. Full bull is the result of an impulsive break of highs. Fake bull is equal to a corrective break of highs. Easy. According to him, there may be a significant rebound between 114,000 and 116,000, so ideally the harm is kept to a minimum going forward. His opinion, we might drop a little further, but it probably won't be a disastrous event. Additionally, he stated in a different thread that we might see anything nearer $110,000 if it does break lower. That appears to be his worst situation. He is merely speculating about what might occur, not claiming that it will. Look at his graphic here though. Even if that worst case scenario comes to pass, he continues to map Bitcoin to rise to $140,000 and above. As in, the big picture. Actually folks, nothing has changed here. While timing wise, everything is excellent as well. This won't significantly postpone whatever is scheduled to occur next. Bitcoin continues to follow that pattern of the global M2 money supply, and the rest of cryptocurrency is just following after. Ali Martinez, a chart analyst, shared this yesterday evening. Whales have purchased 320 million XRP in the past 72 hours. Now, let's face it, whales are rarely captured in the act. They couldn't have foreseen the market's sharp decline, or today's inflation news to be sure, but these players don't give up easy. I highly doubt that today's drama just caused their positive perspective to vanish. They won't have an emotional breakdown and dump everything, just like a normal retail trader who is alarmed by any slight decline. I only wanted to draw attention to that. Recent years have seen a significant increase in confidence among large XRP buyers. I think that's a really good indication. Cryptos, a chart analyst, shared this morning. Bearish XRP for our close below support, he says. We may anticipate that the sell-off will continue if this level is not regained. And he's talking about 3 and 9 cents at that level. Right now, we're actually sitting 1 penny below that. Therefore, it's essentially just short-term noise, even if we drop a little bit more from here. Doesn't alter the main plot at all. Thus, I would say that everything is still on course. According to a recent article by chart analyst Crypto Insight UK, XRP has been rising above us over the past 2 days. Send it quickly to $4.34. This man is discussing price discovery and XRP reaching yet another all-time high. And this comes after everyone was frightened by the morning's pandemonium. According to him, the news event of today doesn't change anything about the direction that XRP is taking. All high leverage long positions on XRP have been liquidated, according to this post from chart analyst CW. This is precisely the reason I stated at the outset, if this doesn't demonstrate that using leverage is completely crazy for 99.9% of people, what more will it take to persuade you given the amount of devastation that is currently occurring? Did people have their financial faces stolen? Some people are experiencing extremely awful days as a result of having to boost their cryptocurrency holdings.